Thank you. Okay, I'm now gonna, before I play James' piece, James, by the way, lives in Toronto and flew all the way here just to be here to witness his piece being premiered and to speak to everybody, so let's give him a hand, and James, come on up. Yeah.
Thank you, and thanks, Joey, for stepping forward and premiering this piece. As some of you have programs might see, it was actually written 4 or 5 years ago, originally for Barbara Pritchard, a pianist who lives in town, of course. Then something called a pandemic intervened. It was much postponed, and then Barbara suffered a wrist setback and wasn't able to handle the piece. And so between Barbara and Janice Jackson, they pointed this way, and this guy said, yes, so many thanks for stepping forwards. I'll be brief, but the piece passage has 3 sections. When I wrote it, I had been writing a lot of vocal music, opera, music theater, song, etc., choir music, for a number of years, and I was starting to miss writing abstract music, things without words. And I thought back to the late 80s when I wrote my first solo piano piece, also for Barb Pritchard. And I thought, 30 years later, it's probably time to tackle it again. And I've sort of approached it like a journal for the first movement especially, which is called Roam, R-O-A-M. And sort of the idea in hindsight behind it is it's kind of like walking. I find more and more talking about my music and talking to musicians about my music, I'm using physical imagery. So a song might have a particular dance form, a particular image of, and in this case is walking. Not only taking steps one in front of the other, but the metaphorical idea, like the Confucian proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step, or the idea of putting 1 foot in front of the other, this sort of calm way of progressing from one moment to the next. I've always thought of music as a journey, whether it's a 3-minute journey or an hour-long journey or something in between. When I travel by train, plane, car, etc., I think that's very similar to the experience of music. Because the thing about music is it goes, it moves. It never stays in the same place for very long. So in the first movement, I'm very much influenced by Schubert. It's kind of nice you heard Gretchen just a bit earlier, because that's a world I really love. The late Schubert piano sonatas, where he really does take his time. And if, for those sonata form fans out there, you may hear the statement of the first theme, the second theme, the development, the recapitulation, a bit of a coda. If you don't worry about it. It's there. You don't need to know. The second movement is called Barcarolle. Barcarolle, I didn't know this until recently, is a boating song, basically. Barque, B-A-R-Q-E, but Q-U-E. So it's the kind of thing you'd sing if you're a gondolier in Venice, for example. And as a longtime canoeist, I sort of relate to that. So that's sort of my canoeing song. And the third movement is called burble, like the burbling of a brook, that sort of constant tinkling motion, scintillating motion of water. So these are the images that were in my mind. And I think that's probably all you need to know, more than you need to know about the piece. So again, thanks, Joey, and hope you enjoy.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. That is the end of the concert. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming.